and some of Red's river rat friends referred to her as an old battle axe. She was, however, a lady of standing who spoke French, German, and Italian, or at least that's what she told the scribes in a husky English voice. Put her in a police lineup for daredevils, and she would be the last one standing. Certainly, though, she nattered as impressive as any man. She told them she'd had the barrel designed at the West Bay City Cooperage Company, a supplier of kegs to a brewery, in her current home of Bay City, Michigan. The wooden thingamajig was constructed from oiled Kentucky oak, slightly tapered at one end, 4 1/2 feet tall, and approximately 3 feet in diameter. Not even the pocket-sized Red would be able to stand up inside it, and to him it resembled an oversized bongo drum from a Caribbean postcard. At best, it was a container for spirits or beer, and you'd have to drink quite a bit from it before getting into the river. And with this, she was going into battle against Niagara Falls? Red wasn't surprised that another person, particularly a woman, had been drawn to the Niagara River. They were always coming by the hundreds and thousands, and some who originally came to see the sights on a Sunday afternoon were hypnotized and remained forever as victims of suicide or stunting. Perhaps, as some superstitious folk believed, Mrs. Taylor was just one in a long line of people lured by a siren song. It may be Niagara casts a certain hypnotic spell over those who are susceptible to its fatal allure, opined a local daily newspaper, the Suspension Bridge Journal. The Witch of the Lorelei continues to entice suicide victims. Those who have every incentive to live as long as possible often feel an impulse to throw themselves into the maddening waters. The Witch of the Lorelei was taken from a legend about a witch in Germany who supposedly lured victims into the Rhine River from a cliff about the height of Niagara Falls. As the legend went, the witch had been a beautiful, enchanting woman with locks of gold who was betrayed by a sweetheart and threw herself off a cliff into the Rhine River, causing a fatal echo that some people had to obey by jumping into the water. An example, the newspaper wrote, was a young, beautiful, wealthy woman, Grace Van Dyke, who, on a gray summer's morning, walked from her hotel at Table Rock and leaped over Horseshoe Falls, mere hours after she had been dancing, apparently gleeful and happy, in a ballroom. What impelled her to destroy her life in the finest hour of her young womanhood? The journal asked. Was it a morbid desire for a dramatic ending? Whatever the prompting influence, the fact remains the Niagara Cataract claims many victims each year, both the illustrious and the demented. Despite every effort of the park police, nothing seems to stop this Witch of the Lorelei, who continues to entice its victims. A German gentleman of letters named Heinrich Heine, 1797 to 1856, even had a poem published about it. The mountain peaks still glisten where the evening sunbeams shine. The fairest maid sits dreaming in radiant beauty there. Her gold and her jewels are gleaming. She combeth her golden hair. With a golden comb she is combing. A wondrous song sings she. The music quaint in the gleaming hath a powerful melody. Young Red felt the lure as well. All of this brought to mind a day not long before, when he had ventured down to the base of the Horseshoe Fall for the first time without the chaperone of his father, Layfield, or anyone else, to collect driftwood and hopefully earn 5 cents for a Hershey's chocolate bar. Quite a journey it was, into a world where nothing liked to be touched, as he climbed along slimy rocks and jagged crevices yawning over spastic currents of water, then crept along a narrow ledge with his back to a huge granite wall, like a spy anticipating gunfire, or perhaps a Lorelei. At its climax, he entered a twilight domain where hungry gulls fed and white swans nodded off and died in a ghostly mist coming off the huge falls. There, at the bottom, down there, he stood steadfastly, all 5 feet of him, consumed by the thunderous voice, looking straight up at 14 stories of cold, heavy water collapsing right in front of his eyes. According to the schoolbook under his bed, 150,000 gallons of water per second. It never stopped falling.